And welcome back to Ace Prosecutor Zero. We have Al on the stand. We had a bit of an awkward start to this trial, but let's see what we can do. Are you happy because you remember something? Because that memory makes you happy?
That ain't no problem with me. I'm too tired to tell my brain on now.
Just answer the question.
I did it for both. America, I could remember something. I was really happy for Ken. Because he helped me and loved me.
But now he's dead.
And the killer will pay for that. Nobody touches my friends.
Mr. Staunton considered you as a friend. Sure, what a question. If you were friends, then why did you kill him? Can't leave my meds for my disease. We want to learn more about that. Would you tell us how you felt before Mr. Staunton helped you?
Not that good. Not at all. Yep.
You don't feel good even now, as a matter of fact. Explain.
I felt weak. All my body hurted me a lot. How can I even explain this to you? You know I'm not a doctor. You are.
Because I'm wearing eyeglasses doesn't mean I'm a doctor. The last time, could you tell us the cause of your illness?
I didn't drink. I don't think I remember, no. I think not. Sorry about that.
You can't remember, or you don't want to remember. Why did you scream? Was he too far from you?
No, it's my way to speak. When I'm happy, I scream.
And are you happy now?
Why should I be happy?
Because you're screaming.
Oh, I do that also when I'm sad. I want to punch the floor right now.
You want to punch the floor? What are you trying to say, in other words?
I don't tolerate Ken died in vain.
He isn't telling me the whole story. Rather, he isn't screaming me the whole story. Possibly he's hiding something about the victim. Oh?
Then he turned around and I noticed his black hair and round glasses.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary other than these details?
Looking at his jacket, I didn't notice anything else.
What about the details you couldn't see?
Hey, no philosophical phrases, thank you. I can't answer if you don't speak in my language.
Why? Do you have a dictionary? Maybe with that I can translate what you're saying. That would be ideal. Anyway, I want to ask you to rephrase the question, Prosecutor. Look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. Don't you notice anything weird on its face?
Looks perfectly normal.
But his mouth is covered, so you can't see part of his face.
Yeah, well, I didn't pay too much attention. Yeah, he used to wear that during his work.
Indeed. He had a mask to cover the mouth of inspections. You know, he was a medic. Yes, it makes sense. I thought he could recognize the victim without the mask. Maybe he only recognizes the victim with the mask? Was the victim used to wearing the mask every day? Then he can say all of the lies he wants without any witnesses against him. I think I can spot more than a contradiction thanks to the detective's testimony. Especially when he seems to be vague. I'm still not sure if it's because of his memory or because something else. I must call to mind to press the statement and support my objection with evidence. If part of the deposition isn't convincing, in this way I should be able to nail him. What do we know about the crime summary? false. This evidence shows the defendant is a liar. Liar is a strong word, Prosecutor. I hope you know what you're doing. I'm more than sure this will not happen to me. Now, look at the evidence.
Why are you so angry at me, friend? Did I steal your glasses, maybe?
I don't see anything valuable in this evidence. Mr. Cosmo is right. I'm afraid I was right about you. Oops. I thought this was the right evidence. I should watch carefully the evidence I show before I present it to the court. Okay, we'll present the crime summary here. Wanted to thank him, eh? Tell me, are you kidding me?
What? What did I say wrong? Because, well, I don't remember.
I agree you're not 100% healthy. This doesn't justify all your lies. Keep in mind it's kind of sus that we're using the detective's testimony against the suspect. And I don't think we've actually heard any justification for Pascal's conclusion. That as soon as he saw the victim, Mr. Necken approached and attacked him. In fact, he used a tide of contradictions all in one testimony. For example, let's talk about your friendship with the victim. It's controversial if you ask me. If you were his friend, then why did you attack him in the first place? Didn't you want to thank him? Or is strangling people your way to thank? It's clear someone else killed him, not my client. Oh yeah, can you prove it with evidence or witnesses? I think you agree that if someone kills someone else, it's because there is a motive. Can you expose a motive? Considering what the detective said earlier, maybe I have one. I have an idea, Your Honor. Show evidence I just need to do like before during the cross-examination. Alright, Prosecutor, tell us. This feels real sus.
Take that!
Glass bottle? I think this glass bottle might actually help us for this matter. Yes, it's that broken bottle at the crime scene. Why is it so important? Try to think like our defendant. Let's assume a possible motive. For example, what motive has a homeless man to kill a medic in the first place? Well, considering his job, I can only think he maybe didn't help him into something. Like what? Again, let's not forget we're talking about a homeless man who doesn't feel physically well. Why would the defendant kill the victim if they were friends? Maybe because the victim didn't help him to get better. Exactly, Your Honor. Forgetting the obvious counter-argument that why would he do it if they were friends because he didn't do it. Mr. Necken said he wanted to thank him. The victim has been assaulted because no one wanted to thank him at all. The evidence we have now, we can finally expose his motive. In fact, you could actually argue that, given his state of mind, he actually thought he was thanking him for not curing him by attacking him. The defendant killed the victim because Mr. Staunton didn't help him to get better. Your reasoning is plausible. After all, I imagine Mr. Necken needed medical support. Wait, but what about the bottle you presented? Getting to that point, I asked the court to check the glass bottle once more. We noticed the bottle has the defendant's fingerprints on it. Considering we don't see the victim's fingerprints, we can deduce that the bottle belongs to him. This still doesn't answer my question. If you put one and one together, you might find the answer. Are you mocking me? Why, wasn't it a funny joke? Don't take it out on it so easily. The detective said the defendant was under the effects of alcohol, right? The defendant was found with this glass bottle nearby at the crime scene. This makes him an alcoholic. Also consider he needed medical assistance and asked the victim for help. Let's say his illness may have something to do with alcohol. Well, there are some diseases caused from excess of alcohol. I don't think we'll be able to get a report of his health in such short time. Ahem. Pardon the interruption, Your Honor. I finished documenting the defendant's analysis. What? You examined me? Without my permission? It's good to hear, Detective. Hey, scoot over for a sec. I need to say something. Hey, this place is mine. First come, first serve. I just need 10 seconds. It's important, you know. But what do you give me in return? In return, I give you absolutely nothing. Nothing? And I'll give you absolutely nothing. Oh, what's that flying sandwich over there, close to Zero? Sandwich? Where? There's no flying sandwich here. What are you saying, Detective? Oh, I see. Told you, it's a matter of a few seconds. So what is it, Detective Pascal? There's a little problem. Need to get back to the precinct. Takes around 15 minutes to go there by car. Small calculation, I should be here in 30 or 40 minutes. Around 40 minutes. There are 10 more minutes. What? Because it takes time to collect all the files. Okay, we'll wait for you here in the courtroom. Alright, be right back. Now I'm hungry. Won't change the subject. We haven't finished with you yet. Thanks to the analysis, we could finally reach the verdict with the right culprit. Objection! You don't know anything about the analysis, so you can't accuse him now. This is true, but it's also true that the defendant is the only person related to the crime.
Objection!
I don't think so. My defendant's illness isn't about alcohol, and the glass bottle wouldn't be considered as incriminating evidence anymore. That's true, I said the bottle could represent the motive. Still has his fingerprints on it, though. It's not like I said, my argument wouldn't be credible. The prosecution has a proposal. What kind of proposal, prosecutor? We need to wait around 40 minutes. Instead of making a recess, we could continue the trial by asking more questions to the defendant. I need the defense's approval to accept your proposal. Your thoughts, Miss Cosmo? Wouldn't this help you to clear your client's name? You're making this question like I'm on the edge here. Until there is a lack of evidence, witnesses, we can't reach a proper, real verdict. The defendant is the culprit, but she's right. We're all waiting for your arrival, witness. Mystery witness. Miss Cosmo, you have a point. That said, let's continue with the questioning. Oh, here we go again. Vague memories. Please explain to the court the victim's attitude when you met him at the crime scene. Friendly? I shouldn't be. Ken has always been a good doctor, unlike him. I hope you're not talking about... So you wanted to talk with the victim, even if you were in the rain? Well, we both had a jacket. We also didn't chat for long. Interesting. What should I do? Should I intervene, or maybe... It's the point where we wait and see. Eh? You don't remember what you two said at all? Not a word. For how many minutes did you talk with the victim? Actually, let's see something. Can I ask a question? If you're breaking the moment, I hope you have a valid question. Of course it is, or I wouldn't have asked. The defense should guess the question I have in mind. Come on, it's going to be fun. Your Honor, I don't have to say anything. Ah, so you don't know the prosecution's question? You think I care about the prosecution's stupid game? I thought the game was easy. Miss Cosmo was right. We're not playing here. Oh shit. Alright. Let's just keep going. Not a word. For how many minutes did you talk to the victim? Well, give me time to remember. No one is rushing you. Right, Your Honor? Right. Right, Prosecutor Zero? Wouldn't be bad if you could move on faster. Trust me when I say it's better this way. What happens if he thinks too fast? Yes, what happens indeed. Speed is an insult to the whole human race. Now. Don't be too polemical about the other's difficulties. One day when you're my age, you will understand how hard that can be. For that day, I'll be so old my mind will be gone. In short, I'll be like Mr. Decken. That's... I believe about 2 or 3 minutes. Relatively short, but for a thank you would be more than enough. Okay. Just after that conversation, something unusual happened, right? You were sleepy, or am I wrong?
Yeah. But don't ask me why, because I don't know the answer.
Mr. Staunton helped you to get up.
Hey, now that I think about it. Yeah, he wanted to help me get back to my feet.
Well, I'm glad the victim was trying to help you. That means you didn't have an actual motive to kill him. This is new. The victim was trying to help him get up. It's important. I wonder if I should intervene right now. If I should keep quiet for the moment. I'd like to ask a quick question. And then what happened next? You are so intrusive. I was going to ask this question. Just shut up! Miss Cosmo is right. Please wait for your turn. Alright, then I wait. While you wait, take this. Bam! Hell no. Let's just wait. What happened next? Do you remember anything?
For sure. I'm so happy, you know?
Hard to say. You're that type of person who doesn't smile when you're happy.
Okay, now I tell you this. So do you remember when I said Ken was trying to get me a help?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, well, I take it back. I have no more intention of saying. I thought when this place was countryside, I had a nice job.
I don't think it's related to the case. I prefer to stay on the topic, thank you.
No, you don't wanna.
What? Of course I do. We all want to learn what you know, Mr. Negan.
The truth is you have to listen to me but you don't want to. Who cares what happened to old Ken? You're folk of the law. You're forced to listen to what I say. But why should I talk to you?
Almost touching words. Then, you have a lawyer ready to prove you're the real culprit. And then we have another lawyer who defends you regardless from the final verdict. This isn't showing interest, and I don't know what is. Dramatic moment aside, can you tell us what happened next? Without complaining, possibly?
Alright, I'll tell you now. But don't ever ask me again. So do you remember when I said Ken was trying to get me out?
Yes, I say yes. Go on.
Just a moment before I fell, I heard a shot. Boom.
A gunshot? Right when the victim was helping you?
Yeah, taken him from behind. But I couldn't see him, you know?
Absolutely understandable. The defendant's words are true. And we have another person in this case. Your Honor, may I ask to add this information as part of the testimony?
Of course, Miss Cosmo.
Well. Please continue with the direct examination. The defendant said he heard the real culprit killing the victim from the back with a gun. If that's so, then something is wrong. Oh shit, I might have accidentally loaded a save. Ahem. Question time. I want to ask a quick question. Do you remember anything about this killer? I make the questions. Just sit there and shut up. Unless I don't see the problem, I just asked for a single question. Prosecutor, did you forget that this is the defense's examination? This isn't your turn yet. You should know it well. You're under penalty for bad behavior. Oh. We're going to use the unacceptable condition? Seriously? What kind of way is this? You disgust me. I don't understand you. I'm talking to my client as the law permitted. There are no excuses. The way you make questions, the way the defendant answers. You should feel ashamed. You Vikings!
What? Me? You ever listen to yourself when you talk? You know what you are, then? You're a candle.
I think you mean a vandal.
Oh, you heard me right. He's a candle, and he smells like old cheese.
A cheese-flavored candle.
Go find in your dictionary what it means if you think you're too smart for us.
Meaning is weird, but he has a point about something. You stopped the interrogation and made us waste time. Hope you had enough fun, because this is the last time. Then. Your Honor, I have enough evidence to prove that it's a contradiction. I see. Which evidence contradicts the interrogation?
Take that!
Okay, this proof contradicts what the defendant said and also the defense. Oh, aggression on the neck. I bet that's what we have to do.
Take that!
There we go, so present the autopsy report. Not so fast. Defendant's words have a tremendous inconsistency.
The only inconsistency is you.
Keep calm and think of what you said before.
Just a moment before I fell, I had a shot. Boom.
Gunshot? Where the victim was helping you?
Yes, they hit him from behind. But I couldn't see him, you know?
So you claim the real culprit killed the victim when he was helping you, whereas he was helping you to get up. So please tell me this. Where are these strangulation signs coming from? Oh, he's right. I would think the victim would have managed to help the defendant if someone was strangling him.
Objection!
However, the autopsy report doesn't specify when the victim was strangled. What if the real culprit did it later that moment? And so, how would this detail make your client innocent? You see, unlike your evidence, my evidence makes sense. As public prosecutor, I continue to claim the presence of only 2 men during the murder. And all of the evidence shows Mr. Necken is the only possible culprit. See, the situation is quite clear now, or am I mistaken? Evidence shown so far identifies the defendant as the culprit of the crime. So you're looking at it from the wrong viewpoint, Your Honor. Wish I could agree with you, but the prosecution made a good point with the strangulation. And if I still have some doubts about the motive. Bit rough time, but it's going well now. Keep going, Zero. The motive may be trivial, however it's the most logical considering the circumstances. A homeless old man who can barely walk, tested for drugs from a medic. The medic couldn't help him due to reasons. This must have brought a certain hatred of him. It's clear the translation isn't that great. Kind of bouncing me off of some parts. Apologies if it's bouncing you off in some parts too.
I'm not as evil as you'd think. I do have a bad attitude, but...
But what?
But nothing.
What did you say, but? Your Honor, I conclude my direct examination. For now. I ask the prosecutor to prepare for the cross-examination. As you wish, Your Honor. Speak with the defense said meanwhile. Vague memories.
After I caught him from behind, we talked for 2 or 3 minutes. Talked to things I can't remember. But woozy and weak. Like Ken was trying to stand me up. That is to say, he died when he was trying to help me. Boom. Back shot.
Of course, I think it's clear what you said. I don't see any inconsistencies at the moment. Should try to get some more details out from him. This is still in the tutorial zone. I don't remember what you said, but you remember how much time you spent with him.
This is how my memory works. At this point, it's better to know something than nothing.
To be honest, I find it hard to believe.
Not surprised since you're the bad guy here.
I'm not bad. I'm a prosecutor. But such my role is to make sure to bring a criminal to court.
Hey, a criminal. And you want to take me to prison?
The law applies to everyone, Mr. Necken.
Bah. Oh well, I don't think it's that bad to stay in prison. There's a TV for each cell, you know?
Can you confirm you don't remember what you two said before the murder happened? Actual systemic issue with widespread homelessness when people have to resort to committing petty crimes to get put in prison just to have a roof over their head and a square meal. Sad state of the world. When people have to put themselves in our already fucked prison system just to get off the streets, get a roof over their head and a square meal. It's sad. This is not helpful. Wait a second. I thought you said you called him to thank him. So you should remember what you two said.
Hey, what you just said can't be faulted.
Can you explain this? Are you hiding something from me?
Well, slow down for a sec. I wanted to thank him and all. But you're talking with someone who was drunk until a day ago. Now tell me I can remember everything I said with Ken. Come on, shoot. I mean, don't shoot. You get what I mean, though.
Maybe you weren't fully stable to the alcohol.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you know.
You felt faint because you were sleepy, is that right?
I know, right? I was surprised to far all this sleep I had. What?
Was it true? Do you know why? Maybe you suffer from narcolepsy.
Actually, I have no idea. Besides, what is this narcolepsy?
Narcolepsy is when a person is very sensitive to sleep. There are various types of this illness, including one where you literally collapse from sleep.
Holy beard. I don't want to be in the shoes of whoever has narcolepsy.
What I'm asking is if you have it too. I mean narcolepsy, not narcolepsy. Don't even bother.
I had no idea. I don't even know what narcolepsy is. You should call me Medic. His name's Ken. You know him.
Memory sure is short term. To recap, you felt faint, and the victim was trying to help you, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I was falling like a boulder. Like a large boulder the size of a small boulder. I could die.
Then the victim saved you from falling, dying. Only that? Don't you think you have forgotten something? Who am I kidding? He's already forgotten my question. Right, you mentioned the victim was strangled, if I'm not wrong. Exactly, and as a prosecutor, I'm not sure what Mr. Necken said, so I can't find him innocent. Good if there are valid reasons, but it looks like there aren't. I think only Mr. Necken could have strangled the victim, in fact. This means invalidating the idea that the victim helped him when he was falling from sleep. Unfortunately, we cannot place when he had this sleep with evidence. If he's the culprit, then this means something isn't right about what he said. Well, I suppose you have a theory about what happened, right? Sure. Exactly. As I was saying, we don't have evidence to say when he was strangled, per se. I believe there is evidence to at least confirm only the defendant could do it. Does it exist for real? Maybe the evidence I want to submit isn't 100% valuable. This might change if there's another piece of evidence which supports my claim. It does exist, Your Honor. Please, look at this. Oh, Detective Pascal's testimony. Detective Pascal delivered to me a summary of this testimony, and there's something I noticed. I must stop you immediately. The piece of paper you're holding isn't evidence. I hope you realize that. You're absolutely right, Your Honor, but please, follow me. There's a part of his testimony to highlight. If you want to support your theory with a testimony, you also need to show evidence. You have my attention. Let's start with the detective's testimony. I'm sure there's a moment of his testimony that could be useful. He's explained to this court which part of his summary shows the defendant strangled the victim. Okay, pick a sentence. Let's read the fifth sentence. After a brief fight, Mr. Necken took this gun and shot him in the back, killing him. Before you object, I'd like to explain. Detective Pascal is clearly prone to make the defendant guilty. In fact, it's thanks to him and the other prosecutor they brought the defendant here today. However, I don't think he used this document to give a personal opinion of the crime scene. It's hard to believe. Get to the point, please. I agree, it is hard to believe. Understood. Both fourth and fifth sentences mention the defendant was actually attacking the victim. Or doesn't this make you think the victim tried to defend himself from the real culprit? Well, there should be a motive if Detective Pascal wrote these lines. Exactly, Your Honor. That's why I asked the defendant, Albert Necken, to take off that jacket. Nah. Yeah, wait a shop for. First beard, now be jacket. You better be ashamed of yourself, you damn old hood thief. Objection! I haven't stolen anything. I don't need your jacket, and neither your hood. I don't need your clothes. What's important now is that you take off your jacket, unless you're hiding something. Okay, you win. Just calm down. I am calm. Your Honor, members of the court. Thanks to this document, I can reveal the detail now necessary. She knows something I don't. It's not written in the court record, then. It's a little before entering in the court, my client stated he doesn't feel well. And is this new? Oh, please. You have low standards for my client. Don't leave me hanging. Just say what you have to say. My client said he didn't feel well because he has some arm injuries. Eh? Ah, so it's true. They definitely attacked each other.
Objection!
Jumping to conclusions. Not so fast. My client got hurt, it's true. You just touched his arms to make him scream in pain. But who says it was the hypothetical clash between the two men that was the cause of those injuries? Why, isn't it obvious? Your reasoning is typical of any prosecutor like you. The fact that both have injury doesn't mean they fought each other. In fact, let's think about what my client said earlier. He said there was someone else other than the victim. And this someone is the cause of those injuries. My client, and the victim too.
Objection!
In a trial, the defendant's testimony doesn't have the same priority as a normal witness. Furthermore, thanks to what you said about the defendant's injuries, I now have my evidence. We can't deny the possibility of a third person. After all, he said the victim was trying to help him stand up. I'll be honest with you. Between the two theories, I find his theory the most plausible one. As the prosecution said, you need more than the defendant's testimony. Despite the obvious translation issues, this is playing a really interesting... This is playing a really interesting case of running the facts, keeping the facts right in the middle, not leaning one way or another clearly. Convincing arguments for both sides. It would be appropriate if you would show us there's some evidence about this third person. Evidence? If you show valuable proof, we'll consider your theory. Alright, let me think for a second. Everything goes how I think. I'll be able to conclude this trial in a short time. You'll sad for the defense, though. She helped me to not end this case, but in the end she's losing. No. Miss Cosmo, I trust in your study for this case. I can support you if you need. That... Where'd the judge's impartiality go? I don't need it, thank you anyways. You can now show the evidence you asked for. There. Good job, I knew you would have found something relevant. Now I ask you the question. What evidence does support your theory? I didn't need a repetition. Between my answers, the following. Pistol at the crime scene. My client used it. There should be his fingerprints, which aren't there. That's a good point. Your proof seems to make sense.
Objection!
But the rain. It's obvious the fingerprints are gone because of the rain.
Objection!
So can you prove the gun was in my client's hand during the crime? Not at the moment. Just wish we could figure out this mystery now. Figure out now. I suppose the defendant has at least a point to keep in consideration for the verdict. Your Honor, I know how to figure out the fingerprints on the weapon. Eh? What? And how? This looks impossible for me. To me, probably. Well, I still have to figure it out. But I have apprehended how we can do it. What do you have in mind? Let me explain. It was raining that night, and Mr. Necken had to go to meet the victim. As soon as he saw the victim, Mr. Necken approached and attacked him. After a brief fight, Mr. Necken took his gun and shot him at the back, killing him. Your Honor, what I have in my mind is to focus on a certain detail. I'm all ears. Which detail should we focus on to figure out fingerprints left on the victim? The victim himself? Guessing? Or powder burn? Let's focus on the victim. What about the victim? Let me read the evidence I have. I'll answer your question in some seconds. Maybe not. I've read all that and I think I don't have any idea of how to answer your question. I think you know what I'm going to do right now. Okay, that was a good one. Crime scene. Let's focus on the crime scene. Crime scene? How can we identify who used the weapon by looking at that? My idea is to rebuild the moment when Mr. Necken almost fainted and fell. Could you really do that in court? You can rebuild a moment like that now. Why don't we try? I know what to do. Just need 3 objects. Your Honor, do you have anything to borrow? Well, I don't know. Here with me, I have my gavel. Oh, I have a white pawn from my chessboard if you want. Why do you have a single white pawn in the first place, Your Honor? Oh, I mistakenly took it when I was playing with a friend of mine. A simple pastime while I was waiting for the passage to come in the city. Right, I imagine you're not from here. Wait, which color did you choose for playing chess? The black one, why? Did he say black? So you took a pawn from his rival? That doesn't matter now. Let's go back to the main topic. Please, would you place this pawn on the defense's desk? Why on my desk? Don't worry, I'll explain in the meanwhile. Okay, now I'm quite afraid. Okay. So where is this pawn? Here, just give me a sec. Alright. Defense, do you have anything by chance? What about my questions? Just do as I say. Apologies, Miss Cosmo. I don't want to look pretentious, but I failed. Be something with the same size as that pawn. Yeah, maybe I have something. Let me check my purse. I have lipstick. Is this okay, or I don't know? Ah yes, the classic equipment of a woman. Hey now. I wonder what's inside those purses. Maybe the black holes or endless vortexes. Hey, I'm talking to you. Is this lipstick or not? Yes, it's perfect. Thank you very much. Okay, then I'll place it here. Sorry, where's the cap? I've lost it. Maybe it's somewhere at home. Maybe it's still inside that endless vortex. Okay, we just need one more object. Luckily, I have just what we need. Hi. Alright, and 1 and 2 and... What? Something bothering you? No, it's just... Why are pear juice? Here's my manners, but you had a pawn, and the defense had a lipstick. Why should this pear juice bother you? No, it's just a curiosity. Okay, we have these 3 objects. What now? Please use these objects to show what happened during the murder, according to your viewpoint. Is that clear? More or less. I'll see what I can do. Thank you. Now be careful not to stay in the table with the lipstick. More importantly, don't drink my pear juice. My breakfast for tomorrow. Okay, I guess. Now please, give me time to place these objects. Of course, take your time. This way I'll show them where the problem is with the defense's argument. This won't be interesting, at least. I'll tell this to my friends. Okay, I'll start now then. So I put this here. Then, for this one, I'll move a bit on this side. There. For this, let's see. I think I'm thirsty and I'll drink it. Miss Cosmo, don't even dare. Don't worry. I hate pear juice. Who hates pear juice will be signed in my blacklist. And there you go. It's basically what I expected, I think. Would you tell us who is who? Sure thing. The lipstick's my client, Mr. Neckin. Makes sense, is this lying on the desk? Judge's pawn is the victim, Kenny Staunton. In this case, he's helping the defendant, right? Yes, in fact, the pear juice is the 3rd man with the gun. I got really confused there when they started showing a different name, but no, that's Cosmo's first name. That's... So my pear juice had to be the bad guy of the situation, of course. I did what you asked me, and this is what happened, and the proof is the gun. I say that because there are no recognizable fingerprints. We're talking about this, after all. To whom do these fingerprints on the gun belong? What now? What is your point, Prosecutor Zero? Defense placed those objects like the crime scene, according to her. Presented the pistol because of the fingerprints. Have to show which part is wrong. You need to show something that is in contrast with the evidence. Prosecutor Zero, you planned this game, and now it's your turn. Well then, no more hesitation. Prosecution doesn't agree with the defense because of the specific point. Ooh, okay. We get to point to the picture. There, this point has got, oh. Point is contradictory to certain evidence. Alright.
Take that!
Wrong. It's evidence, of course. There are no doubts about it. I actually have doubts about it. Excuse me. Scullion was right. I can't see the relation between this point and the evidence. Wasn't this your experiment? The student becomes the master. Yeah, yes. We disagree with... There. Right that point. Okay. What evidence do you think is contradictory? So we pointed to Nicken. How did the grass bottle break?
Take that!
Something that leaves me somewhat perplexed, Your Honor. Naturally, I ask you this. What makes you perplexed? Before to answer, I'd like to recap what we know up until now. The defense theorized the presence of a man due to the fingerprints left on the pistol. What makes these fingerprints so special, however, the fact that they're hard to identify. Now, this shouldn't be considered a problem since it was raining that night. The problem is, just because of the rain, there's something that doesn't quite make sense. And what would it be? They put the glass bottle. Don't see any relation with what we're saying. Cap is still sealed. It's broken, so why didn't it fill with rain? The problem, rather the banal problem, is the presence of fingerprints. Fingerprints? Eh? Did I just get this wrong again? Exactly, if you still don't see the point, the fingerprints belong to the defendant. Oh, what? This produces a different problem. If Rain didn't wipe the prints from the gun. Rain did wipe the prints from the gun, but didn't wipe the prints from the bottle. Why weren't both pieces of evidence on the wet crime scene? Don't you find odd the bottle has recognizable fingerprints, whereas the pistol hasn't? Yes, I do. It's odd.
Objection!
Wow, I was close to falling for it. You've forgotten it was raining during the crime. So according to her, I forgot this important detail. Please. Do you know why these two objects look doubtful, then? Yes, Your Honor. Let's talk about it. Curious to know your argument, but first a short summary. The prosecution states that the singularity of a certain evidence with remarkable fingerprints. The fact it was raining, so the fingerprints of the weapon are hard to recognize. Instead, the glass bottle has, surprisingly, recognizable fingerprints. I have no clue what that first sentence meant, but... Can you tell us why these two objects have this contradiction despite the presence of the rain? Crime scene, bottle have been covered, different pistol. Cross off different pistol, cross off different crime scene. You could probably cross off bottle as being covered as unlikely. Essentially, why didn't the fingerprints get washed off the bottle? Rain interval. There's a way. If you think about it, it's the only way. I don't think they moved from an indoor area. Though there was no change of pace for the place for the crime scene. No one could have wrapped the glass bottle since there was nothing like it on the crime scene. Thus, if after the crime no one altered the objects in the area, then this means only one thing. That is, after the murder, the rain must have stopped. After the murder? Why after? When the culprit shot and killed Mr. Staunton, they left the murder weapon in the crime scene. By leaving it on the ground, Rain removed part of the fingerprints for the weapon. Why didn't this happen to the glass bottle if we found it on the ground too? To maintain those fingerprints, something must have happened after the crime. If it was wet like the murder weapon, then the fingerprints should be difficult to recognize. That's why the bottle has clear fingerprints, while the pistol hasn't.
Objection!
Not bad as a theory, but I don't understand how this can be related to the third person. Ah, I'm glad you asked. Oh no, that face. Excuse me, defense. May I get close to your desk? But why? I have to explain something. It will take less than 2 minutes. Oh ho, it's that game again. Oh boy, do you like it? Now, defense, I'm going to show you what's wrong with your theory. Let's pretend the straw is actually the murder weapon, pointing towards the victim. Let's also use something. Let's also use something else to represent the glass bottle. Do you have a pen by any chance? I do, I think. Fantastic, thanks a lot. I'm going to use only the cap. You can keep the rest. Now, according to what we know of the crime scene, the bottle was placed close to the defendant. So I'll put this pen cap here. Good. Everything is ready for the simulation of what happened, according to the defense. It's a simulation in this courtroom. Don't worry, Your Honor. I won't kill anyone. I might kill your lipstick, though. Ah, what a relief. Alright, are you ready? I keep asking myself why I'm still helping you with this silly game with my lipstick. Maybe I don't want to know the answer anymore. Everything will be clear after the simulation. And 1, and 2, and... What? Oh, my pear juice. What's wrong with you? I'm sorry, but it's important for the sake of the case. No, it's not. You just pretend this would have happened, you know. But, to be fair, I find these experiments quite original. You too, Your Honor. Oh, sorry for the prosecutor. Ruining his breakfast just for a simulation is excessive. What the? Put out my desk! It's wet for this stupid juice! Oh, it's nothing, Your Honor. I can do breakfast the day after. Important thing is that you understand what happened according to the defense. This isn't according to the defense. Doesn't matter now. We just saw the moment the third man used the pistol. Or pawn. Or do you decline it when you're done with this experiment? Of course, Your Honor. What about my desk? Now let's get back to us. The third person just killed the victim, so now he will drop the weapon on the ground. Now the gun is on the ground. Due to the rain, it will lose the fingerprints left. Let me guess, now you're gonna spit in my desk too, right? No, not at all. The idea isn't that bad, though. It said that it's unhygienic. You've got a questionable attitude, young man. Initially the defendant should have kept the bottle on his jacket. Which explains the amount of prints. He found it out of his jacket, which means Mr. Neckhead must have extracted it. Guess it can make sense. No, I guess it makes sense. The question is, what does it have to do with the third person? The fact he extracted it is highly important, because this means only one thing. He was still there? Now this is a questionable point. want to say he was still standing, since that's the only answer that seems to make sense, but it's still not... That's... I mean... If he had fallen over, he had a corked bottle in his... He had a corked bottle in his jacket. For someone as stereotypically drunk as him, could have easily pulled it out of his jacket when he was lying on his back or something. And glug, glug, glug. It would also counter-argue that it broke when he fell. So I guess we'll try that. Yeah. Falling from sleep. Means that he was still standing and wasn't yet falling asleep. What? Not possible. It is, thanks to this evidence. Let's give a look at the object again, shall we? First, at the defendant's fingerprints, which means only the defendant touched it. Yes? Second, as you can see, the bottle is broken in half, and apparently it's because of a fall. Thus, this happened the moment he collapsed from sleep. Oh, okay. Oh, it makes sense. Yes, Your Honor. The defendant was still standing just like this lipstick is now. This means Mr. Necken lied to us. So he fell over once it stopped raining? The victim never helped him to stand up. This happened after the murder. Ah! Good job, Prosecutor Zero. We proved a point. Thank you, Your Honor. Let me help you to clean up the desk. And your objects are clean too. You the lipstick, and for you the pawn. Good job, Pear Juice. I knew you would have been useful. You did what the forensics would take weeks to do. They should hire us. So, Mr. Necken, could you explain what happened for real? Well, you see, I didn't remember. Do you need a refresher? Let's talk, for example, about all your lies. And it's not because you're fussy. You made the lies up on purpose. Oof. At the end of the crime, you were still standing. You can't hide this. You're the real culprit.
Objection!
Whoa, not so fast. Maybe you're right. He didn't fall asleep on the ground immediately. We don't know how he killed the victim. She'd be so calm despite my advantage. Imagine it's not going to be so easy to beat her. I think it's clear the defendant could be the only culprit in this case. Is that so? Because I think not. Explain. What if you just proved doesn't indicate my client as the murderer? Yes, my client may have lied, but he did it to defend himself. What a strange way to say he was trying to fake his alibi. Here's what I'm saying is that it's possible my client saw the real killer. Hold on, you're not wrong. He was standing up, so he could see the third person you mentioned. It's what we speak of a defense attorney. I have an idea, however. You know what? You convinced me. Miss Cosmo convinced you to make the defendant innocent? Not at all, but she's right. He could have seen the culprit. So we have two possibilities. First one is to consider the defendant guilty of the charges due to obvious reasons. Second one is to consider that Mr. Necken has witnessed the crucial moment of the crime. In short, he might be sudden, useless and devalued key witness. Who is right? We'll find out with another and last questioning. Consider this as a last chance for both of you. Show me the defendant didn't kill anyone. I did a beautiful idea, Prosecutor. Miss Cosmo, are you ready? Your Honor, I'll show you who is right. This is... I think we'll hold this off for next time, but... Translation issues aside, this is... It's a different kind of... law structure. Different kind of... I guess it's definitely going for its own thing outside of the typical ace attorney tropes. Like, one way or another, this courtroom seems really pretty reasonably balanced between prosecution and defense. It's not burden 100% on the defense. There is still some weight that we're seeing from the prosecution's perspective, but weight on the defense, that is, from the prosecution's perspective, but that burden's not on us, which makes the structure of gameplay inherently different too, in an interesting way that they've pulled off. But yeah, it's, in a sense, this court isn't turning on the defense on a dime. It's actually considering the points they make without 100% demanding concrete proof. It's actually considering theories and logic without resorting to, when weighing them against each other without resorting to, the defense doesn't have any proof, therefore the defense logically proved that, like, it feels like this court isn't the court that'll resort to defense logically prove that this person did the killing and got them to admit to it on the stand, but they don't have one piece of evidence, this one final piece of concrete evidence, so therefore their defendant's guilty. End of the trial. It's going down the middle in a really interesting way. Again, obvious issues aside, curious to see where this goes.